Hey, this is Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, and you're watching GNR Central. Yeah!
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to GNR Central, and we got some news for you guys today. So this was one of the most strangest news stories that I've seen recently. So Slash's brother Ash Hudson lashed out at Slash's girlfriend Meegan Hodges online. Now this isn't the first time he's done something stupid online. In fact, we'll talk about one of his other moments and how he almost derailed the whole Guns N' Roses reunion. But let's talk about what he posted. So he posted this photo on his social media page on Instagram with his brother Slash. He said, "I love this photo, but what I hate is fake-ass watermarks laid on top." So you can see Megan's watermark is laid on top. He said, "Trying to connect the bullshit to our family name. Yeah, you watermark famous, while we Hudsons stay famous for talent, not Samsung clicks. F that shit." So he had to basically delete that caption on his photo, and then it just later read, "I love this photo. I've never seen it before." So somebody was able to get a screen grab of this. And let's talk about one of the other moments that Ash said something stupid and he had to come out and apologize for it. So back in September of 2015, a few months before the Guns N' Roses reunion was made official, Slash's brother had to apologize for insulting Axl Rose. So we had a bunch of reunion rumors floating around, and Slash's brother basically got annoyed with all the questions about the reunion and basically told fans that Axl was a fat bastard and called him Fat Elvis. And then it seemed like Slash was not too pleased about his siblings' rant. So on September 11th, Slash's brother Ash apparently posted the rant on Facebook, knocking fans for constantly asking him if a reunion of the classic Guns lineup will happen, and in process firing off an unflattering insults about Axl. So after the media picked up on Ash's comments, Slash's younger brother posted an apology on Facebook that read as follows: "I apologize to Axl and his legions of fans who were offended by my post of yesterday. I am sorry I shot my mouth off. I know, or should know, better than to get involved in GNR business. It has come to my attention that Axl is on a strict diet and losing weight. Unfortunately, my post was very offensive and upsetting to my brother, for which I apologize. To the rest of the world, I had one of these days when people kept asking me about the possible reunion, and I had enough. Again, my apologies." So here's what Ash had to write in his original post that got him into trouble. So on Facebook, he said, "You obsessed fans of Guns N' Roses, F a reunion. If you love Guns, enjoy what they made and move on. To dream of the opportunity that you could see them all together to me is like saying, I love the guys who invented my door in my apartment. I walk through it all the time. I wish they would get back together and invent a new door. What's wrong with the door you have? It still works. You still use it, and you effing fan club page host need to get your own life to spend all your time figuring out what Slash is doing first. And to act like you have an education degree of Guns N' Roses and yet you have your own families, but still spend most of your day in life as an undercover fanboy serving up the gossip with an attitude like you have some power over other fanboys and girls is like you've never stopped wearing Superman underoos and think as an adult you're effing Superman. It's so dumb to me. Not sure if I'm making myself clear, but grow up, get a life. If I have to have one more effort ask me if Guns will do a reunion tour, I'm blocking them. Axl is a fat bastard and the reunion would only disappoint and inaction would result in criticism, just saying." He also followed up the post with another post saying, "That's just it. They were the best of all time. Nowhere to go from there. They captured lightning in a bottle. Nothing left to prove. It's done. Are the Stones you grew to love in the 70s? F no. Now a circus act. You loved Axl when he was beautiful. Now he's Fat Elvis. So move on, people. Buy Slash's World on Fire album." We've also got some other Slash news. So Slash was interviewed recently by Billboard magazine in Asia, and he talked about the California wildfires that happened most recently in the news. So he basically shared himself bracing himself for what he's going to encounter when he returns home to LA, saying, "It will be a shock for me to go and physically be there when I go back in December and realize that some places that I'm so familiar with are no longer there." He also discussed being on the road and not knowing what will welcome him when he gets home. He said, "Watching it while it's on the news and it being so close to home, it's kind of a weird, helpless feeling that you have while you watch this thing happening," he says. "And then you've got a gig in a couple of minutes and shift gears and you go out and play and you forget all about it. And you're out there for 3 hours and you come back after the show and turn on the news and another neighborhood just went up in flames." He also had the following to say about his career. He said, "I didn't have aspirations to get where I am at this moment. It was just keep playing, to keep getting better, to keep working on the next gig. And eventually the time comes when you get to make a record," he explains. And it's just sort of putting one foot in front of the other the whole time and just keep moving it forward. And just keep moving and going forward and always sort of striving to do the next best move you could possibly make and persevering. I guess tenacious would be a good word for it, and that's the long and short of it. So Ultimate Classic Rock published an article outlining how Guns N' Roses set up their stage during the Not in This Lifetime tour. So it's a pretty extensive article, and it was done during the final date of the Not in This Lifetime tour at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu on December 8th. So that was the first ever concert the Guns played in Hawaii. So as you might imagine, bringing together everything needed to mount the show of this scale on an island of 2,390 miles off of the California coast was a huge challenge for the crew. So the band's longtime producer, Opie, who's been with Guns N' Roses since 1990, and he's worked with groups like AC/DC, Black Sabbath, and the Rolling Stones, explained the work that goes into each of the approximately 160 shows the band has played over the past 2.5 years. So Opie handles everything from conception to execution, putting the stage design together with the band and the designers, hiring production crew to make it happen, and then making sure that the show fits everywhere the band is going. From festival appearances, stadiums, and arenas to small venues such as New York's Apollo Theater, he then gets it all to each city safely night after night. So he said it was an honor to be asked to come back for this tour. He told Ultimate Classic Rock, "I was looking forward to getting the phone call. It's been great and exciting from the very start. The stage design came together pretty quickly over the course of a couple months. Axl Rose was on tour with AC/DC at the time, so it took a bit of back and forth to nail it down. But even with that, we got going pretty quickly." So part of the advanced design planning included coming up with a stage set that could be used in venues of varying sizes. He said the production can be adjusted and used in many different settings and can be modified to work in all of the places that Guns N' Roses play, he says. In stadiums, we can wind it all the way up, and in arenas, we're able to make it a more intimate experience for the audience. So regardless of the venue, Opie says it takes just a small army to get things going for Guns N' Roses every night. It varies depending on the size of the show, he said, but it could be in upwards of 75 trucks and 200 crew members for a stadium show during this run, and then shrink down for arenas and such, he notes. Then it's an 8 to 10 hour day for the crew to set up the production of this tour, including line checks, focus, sound checks, and so on, once everything is set up to make sure it is running smoothly and there are no issues. So for the year-ending Honolulu stop, all those truckloads of equipment were shipped by plane, followed by more than 50 crew members. He said, "One thing I wish concertgoers knew about handling production on a tour like Guns N' Roses is the amount of time and crew members it takes to really make this show happen," Opie says. He also went on to say it's a massive group effort from the band down to every person on the crew, and it's been an incredible run, and honestly, we haven't had any Spinal Tap moments or mishaps. Everyone has been on board with the production from the crew to the band, so the extra work that Opie and his crew put into setting up Guns N' Roses' Hawaiian show will be for a particularly good cause. So the band donated a portion of the proceeds from the concert to the Andy Irons Foundation, which worked to raise awareness and institute programs for young people pertaining to mental health, drug recovery, and learning disabilities. Turning now to some Myles Kennedy news. So Myles has some pro shop footage that's come out recently. So on November 23rd, iRock Radio captured Myles Kennedy's solo performance at the Webster Theater in Hartford, Connecticut. There's 2 videos that are pro shots. So Kennedy's debut album, Year of the Tiger, was released in March. And on the disc, Myles embarked on his first venture as a solo artist by embracing musical elements and influences he hadn't previously done in his career. So Myles is now one to spend time alone at home, and in the U.S., he's been touring in support of Year of the Tiger. The 18-day run kicked off on November 13th in Chicago, Illinois, and it wrapped up on December 16th in Seattle, Washington. So the performances feature music from the album as well as selections from Myles' work with Alter Bridge, the Mayfield 4, and Slash featuring Myles Kennedy and the Conspirators. And the Walking Papers are opening all of the dates. So if you guys want to see that pro shop footage, I've linked to it down below. So we've also got some Duff McKagan news. So he's going to be playing a one-off show in South Carolina. So Duff McKagan is going to be joining members of ELO and Hootie and the Blowfish, according to the Herald Online. So according to the article, Duff's brother Bruce McKagan, he's also got another brother named Matt McKagan who's played on some of Guns N' Roses songs, works for Renew Our Community. He's an executive director, and he said, "I'm excited." And he said it's been 3 times that we've kind of penciled in a date for him to come, and every time they've got extended on their tours, he's locked and loaded, and it's going to be something, McKagan said. Duff is going to be joined by Boston lead singer Tommy DiCarlo for the January 24th Rock and Roll Evening, along with the Stars concert at the McKevley Center in York. So the show includes the orchestra and ELO Part 2 guitarist Parthenon Huxley and Hootie and the Blowfish drummer Gary Green. So tickets for the event are going to range from $199 to $350, and only 500 tickets will be sold. So Bruce McKagan expects them to sell quickly, with proceeds going to Renew Our Community, or ROC. He said, "We as a nonprofit struggle to keep the doors open, and we don't have government grants, so this is just a great opportunity to help us for 2019. The event's going to include acoustic and amp sessions in the historic theaters, interviews, and a live auction. There'll also be several other performances with local ties." So Duff appeared in a promotional video for Renew Our Community with his brother Bruce a couple of years ago. And Duff McKagan said in the video, "No matter where you're at, it takes a village." So tickets are available at Renew WOC, so RENEWOC.org. The concert comes amid changes at the ROC. So the ROC is one of several nonprofits coming together at Pathways Community Center in Rock Hill, and the site is expected to open in spring of 2019. City civic leaders say the site will be able to serve homeless and indigenous communities across the area by creating one place to get multiple services. So that does it for everything today, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and go check out GNRCentral.com for the latest and greatest Guns N' Roses and related news. Take care.